The State of Nature, Rousseau versus Hobbes and Locke. A whirlwind tour of how three philosophical heavyweights imagined humans before the WA president, and the WA bylaws even existed. Number 5. Three contracts walk into a state. Hobbes, Locke, and Rousseau agree we signed something like a contract, but they disagree on the fine print and the vibes. Hobbes says we hand nearly all our rights to a single sovereign so we can stop nervously glancing over our shoulder, security first, squabbles later. Locke insists we consent to a limited umpire that protects our pre-existing rights to life, liberty, and property. When the umpire cheats, we get to fire them. Rousseau goes bold. We alienate ourselves not to a ruler but to the whole community, creating a general will that makes us free by obeying laws we collectively author. Translation: Hobbes locks the door, Locke drafts house rules, Rousseau turns the house into a co-op. Number 4. Property. The plot thickens. For Hobbes, property isn't really yours until the sovereign says so. Rights are conventional and secured by power. Locke flips that. Individuals own themselves, and by mixing their labor with unknown stuff, cue the classic, I pick the apples, they create property, limited by the enough and as good proviso and no spoilage rule. Money's invention loosens those limits and legitimates inequality by tacit consent. Rousseau storms in with a fence and a mic drop. The first person who said, "This is mine," and found believers launched inequality and conflict. Property politicized pride and comparison, amour propre. Yet in Rousseau's mature social contract, property can exist, but only under laws that protect everyone and prevent domination. So property evolves from Hobbes's permission slip, to Locke's labor trophy, to Rousseau's social boomerang that society must carefully tame. Number 3. Locke's calm-ish meadow. Locke's state of nature isn't a battlefield, it's a morally governed commons where reason, aka natural law, tells us not to harm others in their life, liberty, or possessions. People are free and equal, judges in their own case, and that's the snag. Bias and lack of a neutral umpire create inconveniences that nudge us toward civil society. We consent to a government with known laws, impartial judges, and executive power to enforce them, all for the sake of our rights. If rulers betray that trust, say, by seizing property or shredding law, Locke hands the people a whistle and a reset button, the right of revolution. It's the political equivalent of trust, but verify, with a very clear refund policy. Number 2. Hobbes's harsh weather report. Hobbes's forecast for the state of nature? A perpetual storm. Equal vulnerability breeds mutual fear, and competition, diffidence, and glory-seeking stir up a war of all against all. With no common power, there's no law, no justice, no secure property, only the raw right to everything, and a life that's famously solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Rational folks, tired of dodging metaphorical and literal spears, covenant to authorize a sovereign who can keep the peace. This Leviathan sets the rules, defines property, and quashes the chaos. Liberty is rebranded as the silence of the law. In short, trade your daggers for a durable peace plan, no returns, except for basic self-preservation. Number 1. Savage beginnings, pity versus fear. Rousseau pictures early humans as solitary foragers guided by simple self-love, amour de soi, and a natural pity that checks cruelty. More nap in the sun than knife in the back. Needs are modest, comparison scarce, and conflict rare. Language and complex cooperation haven't yet turbocharged status anxiety. Society, agriculture, and especially property awaken amour propre, our hunger for recognition, breeding envy, dependence, and domination. The cure? Rebuild community on a different foundation. Laws expressing the general will, securing civil freedom and equality rather than flattering vanity. Rousseau's twist is that we didn't fall from reason into chaos. We drifted from innocence into unhealthy competition. Whether you prefer Hobbes's sturdy umbrella, Locke's well-marked footpaths, or Rousseau's communal campfire, the weather in the state of nature still shapes today's politics. So choose your coat, and mind the social contract on your way out.